tell y'all how. One day at work, I just knew that I was about to send somebody's parents right on to jail. I was about to make a CPS case. So boom. My part-time job is for the health department. So I'm at work. I had an event to do. I'm at work. Me and Brown Sugar, we just sitting there, we chilling or whatever the case may be. And most of our events, we have kids that come by. So some kids had came over. It was only little kids. This little boy had to look like he was about, I want to say 6 years old, 5, 6 years old, tiny little itty bitty thing or whatever. My man's had a black eye, like it was black, like somebody like caught him with a good one. So I don't know if it's the parent in me or what, but I looked at Brown Sugar looked at me, I looked at Brown Sugar looked at me, and I was like, nah, I'm not even gonna believe nothing like that. So then another little boy came over, favors him, so he had to, I'm guessing they was related. At the time, it was just a guess. I'm guessing they related. So the other little boy came over, and he also had a bruise. He had a black eye, but his looked a little bit different than the little brother. So this brother looked like he probably was about 8, 9 years old, maybe 10. And he also had a bruise. And he not only did he have one in his eye, he had one on his arm. So now my antennas is up. I'm like, oh no, hell no. Somebody's putting their hands on these kids. Now I look up and I scan the room, and I don't see no adult that possibly could have been with them, because the other adults that was already there in the same room as us were already there, and then some of them already had kids that was sitting next to them and whatever. So I'm like, I'm looking at her and I was like, you see what I see? So she's like, yeah. So I'm like, it's like, we mandated reporters. So she's like, yeah, I know. So then I looked at the older brother, and I realized that he had on what I didn't know for sure if it was like a baseball uniform. I just know he had on some type of sports uniform. I know for sure it wasn't football. I believe it was baseball, if I'm not mistaken. So just me, because I know they say that you're not supposed to like question them or whatever the case may be. Whatever you see or whatever they voluntarily tell you at the time is what you report. But I don't know, like something deep down inside me wanted to just ask. So I said, hey little man, I was like, you like sports? So he was like, yeah. I said, what sport do you play? He told me, he says he swim, soccer, baseball, and I don't know if he said hockey, and then I think he liked lacrosse, or he played lacrosse and liked hockey, whatever it was. But I don't know your name, like 4 or 5 sports or whatever. So I'm like, oh. So I was like, is that how you got your black eye or whatever the case may be? Then I heard the mother or aunt or whoever the guardian was, it was a lady. So she called him, and he just walked away. So I'm like, oh, hell no. So now inside of me, I'm bawling, because I want to know what happened to these kids. And I'm so about to call CPS, like, because I don't know what else to do. Like, what is going on with these kids? Why did I see 2 kids with bruises? Then I'm trying to get questions, knowing I'm not supposed to question them, but I did it anyway. And I can't even get an answer. So then I want to say about 2 minutes went by after me. I'm talking to Brown Sugar, and I'm like, Brown Sugar, I don't know how I feel about this. It's like, I don't know if he did it, like, did the brothers do that to each other, fighting or whatever? I didn't know what to do. But I'm like, even that little boy couldn't put a bruise that bad on the other brother. So I'm like, nah, bro, something's going on or whatever the case may be. Something else has to be going on. So anyway, next thing you know, I want to say about 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes go by or whatever the case may be, and 2 other kids had came to the table with the 2 little boys that was already there. It was another little boy and a little girl. I know I was pissed off, right? Because I look at these all 4 kids, and they all have bruises now. So I'm looking at the little girl had bruises on her arm, like her forearm got bruised up. It looked like she had like a hand mark. I'm like, now in my head, I'm like, whoever's parents Like, whoever their parents are cannot be that dumb to bring them kids outside with all of those bruises on them, even if another child did it to them. Like, there's no way in the world that you could consciously think that it's okay to bring them outside without even trying to cover them up. So I'm like, all right, something else is going on over here, and I just couldn't figure out what else it could be. Man, why the lady gonna come over to the table? So we talking or whatever. So I was like, well, little man, you know, I didn't even care that the mom was standing there or whoever the guardian was. I didn't care that she was standing there. So I'm like, well, little man, you never told me, you know, what happened. I was like, did you get your, you know, your bruise from? I was like, what happened? What's going on? How you get them? He was like, oh, they painted it over there in the other room. I was livid when he said that. I'm like, they painted it. He was like, yeah. So the mom was like, I know. She was like, I have crazy kids. I don't know. They're not like all normal kids. So I'm like, so I just laughed. I don't know if my laugh was relief. My laugh was like, nah, bro, you can't be serious. Or my laugh was like, these kids are freaking geniuses. Cause like, out of all the face paintings you could have did, you decided that you wanted bruises. Not only you, but all your siblings. All four of them had bruises. The mom was like, when the lady, when they sat down in the chair and the lady said, what you want? You want a Spider-Man? You wanted this? My man said, nah, I want a black eye. And then all of the kids followed up with it. When I say, y'all, when they walked away, I looked at Brown Sugar. I said, now, you know I'm mad, right? So she was like, girl, I am into it. And I was like, we sitting up there investigating, asking questions like we CPS workers. Nah, because I want to know what happened to young little man. Like, I don't play around with no kids. Like, don't neglect, over abuse kids. Like, I'm all for discipline, no matter how you want to discipline. Like, I'm not going to say that I believe in spankings or ass whoopings or whatever the case may be, because, you know, by the grace of God, like, my two boys, I haven't, they never did anything to the point where I needed to beat them. Have they got popped? Yes, they have. Definitely have. Like, I don't pop them in their mouth. Sure, I just popped Gino the other day. He's 13. I popped him in his mouth the other day, or smacked him, like, backhand him in his chest, like, you know, just a little quick, you know, smack in the chest or whatever. Not to hurt him. We was joking around and we was laughing, and I was like, you a fool, like that. But what I'm saying is, I'm not against whatever type of discipline you guys want to do, whatever parent, but like, don't overdo it. Like, don't excessively abuse children. Don't neglect children. Don't treat children wrong, especially in front of me, because I don't care where I am. Like, if I'm in a park, like, let's just say if I have my kids in the park, my kids too old for the park, but if I have my nieces and nephews in the park and I see somebody's parent like OD yoked them up or whatever, I'm stepping in. Like, I won't think twice about it. Like, my brain is not going to function and say, let me mind my business, or let me call the cops, or let me do this. Now I'm just unconsciously thinking I'm going to jump in. Like, I don't play around with kids. I have a really soft spot for children. I love me some kids, no matter who they are. So when I see stuff like that, like, I don't know, my brain just automatically want to know what happened, because I feel bad. But man, y'all little kids nowadays, they are a trip. When I said, like, I'm never gonna forget that moment, because when I said I was already to report this, because come get these kids, because I don't know what's going on. I just knew somebody's grown person that did that to them. But you know, shout out to those 4 kids, because they was very creative with it. They got me. I wish it was a prank where they could have had, like, you know, a camera crew or something. But like, when I said I was ready, somebody was going to jail. Somebody was going to be investigated. I don't know who it was, but somebody was going to get investigated. But anyway, y'all be safe out there. Love y'all all.